What up guys, it's Adrian from YouMotorcycle, and in today's video we're going to be talking about a bike that I kind of just last year fell in love with on my very first ride, and that's the Yamaha XSR 900.
I love this bike.
And I'm going to tell you basically 5 reasons why I think you should buy one. The first reason why I think you should buy this bike is, honestly, I'm a bit of a picky guy. I love the high RPM performance of a 4-cylinder and the low RPM performance of a twin, basically. The problem is that both motors sort of have their weaknesses. Those 4-cylinders, yeah, they're great and fun on the highway, but at low RPMs they're kind of dull, and you really have to get the RPMs way high for it to be in its power band. It's kind of annoying. Versus the twins, yeah, you got lots of torque down low. I absolutely love me a V-twin, but once you get on the highway, they can tend to run out of steam, and you can't really rev them as high and sort of be aggressive up at those higher speeds and those higher RPMs anymore. They sort of have a bit of a short ceiling on them. A 3-cylinder engine is fantastic because it kind of gets you the best of both worlds. And Yamaha's, I think this one came out in 2014, so they've had tons of time to perfect it. They've changed, they've done like some firmware kind of upgrades to them, so you can take them into a dealer if you have like a 2014, let's say FJ09, bring it in. They'll change the mapping, so it'll be a lot more smoother than what first came out. But basically with the 3-cylinders, you get a lot of torque down low, just as if you would on a twin, but you also have the ability to take this thing up to 10,000 RPMs. Well, apparently even past 10,000, but your peak horsepower is about 115 at 10,000 RPMs. And it's not really something that you can say for a lot of twin-cylinder bikes. They're just not happy that high up like this bike is. I really should have put some air in the tires. I just brought this thing back in the city, and I wanted to take it for a little test ride. It's been away for winter storage, and I just wanted to ride it real quick before I return it to my customer, because again, I absolutely love the XSR 900. Second reason why I love the XSR 900 and I think you should buy one is it has ride-by-wire, which means that you get different ride modes. So basically, you can sort of change the performance characteristics of this motorcycle by switching between modes A, standard, and B. So standard is pretty much what you would expect, how you would expect a bike of this size to be mapped at. Whereas A is going to make it very aggressive, and B is a lot more subdued. So I love this because it makes the bike fantastic for a huge variety of riders. So if you're a beginner and you're just looking to grow into this motorcycle, you can start with it in B mode, and you won't get the full power of the bike, and it's going to be really manageable for you. Versus if you've been riding for a while, you know your way around a bike, and you just want to, take it easy, enjoy your motorcycle. You can keep it in standard, and if you're kind of the hooligan, hot-headed type, and you really want to go balls to the wall, put it in A mode. That front tire is going to want to come up because you're unleashing all of the power, and it's mapped differently too. It can be a ton of fun, a blast for just sort of pushing your limits. Normally, I'm not a fan of stuff that makes motorcycles more electronic, but I gotta say, ride-by-wire mode is fantastic. It's one of those things where you might be against it at first, kind of like fuel injection, but then once you have it, it's really hard to want to go back. Being able to switch ride modes, especially if, let's say, all of a sudden just a big torrential downpour, I switch it to B mode, I'm not going to have as much power. It's going to be great, easy to manage, even if it's just drenched with rain on the roads, not a problem at all. Same thing if it was like really, below freezing temperatures. You don't want to have your back tire spinning out because you got way too much power going to it. So having different ride modes for whatever the weather is fantastic. Also for whatever your different experience level is, it's a great option to have. Third reason why you might want to consider buying an XSR 900 yourself is because in addition to the ride-by-wire modes, you also have adjustable traction control. So more and more bikes are coming with traction control, but usually at most you get on and off. This bike you have 1, 2, and off. Off, obviously you know what that means. Number 2 is going to be like the most traction control. If you're a beginner, strongly recommend that for you. This is a bike where it makes a lot of power. It doesn't weigh a lot. We'll get into that later. The front end does want to come up on this bike. Perfect. So you're going to want to make sure, if you're a new rider, traction control 2 is going to help keep you a lot more grounded. Keep that front tire planted down where it needs to be on the road for beginner riders. All right, so we are back at YouMotorcycle HQ, which pretty much means that I blew the video. Basically what happened was my microphone started dangling a little bit, it wasn't in place, so the audio was kind of half okay, half bad, and I thought, what's gonna make this video better is if I just do the ending over again, so you guys see the last 2 reasons why you should buy the bike, and you can actually hear it without being like, huh? So with that being said, reason 4 why you might wanna buy this motorcycle is it's super lightweight. It weighs in at only about 20 to 30 pounds more than my 250cc did. That is absolutely insane. The bike's weight is only 438 pounds wet. That means fully gassed up and everything ready to go. And that of course ties into the 5th reason to buy this bike, which is that it has
crazy power to weight ratio.
It is so much fun. It punches way above its class. It weighs in like a featherweight. It punches like a heavyweight. It makes 115 horsepower at 10,000 RPMs. It makes like 65 foot-pounds of torque, relatively down low in the power band. When you pair all of this up with the bike's lightweight, it makes for a bike that is a lot of fun to ride. Just brace yourself, because when you roll the throttle on, that front tire likes to get a little light. It likes to catch a little bit of air. And since I kind of blew it with this video, I'm going to give you guys a bonus reason of why you should buy this bike. It handles extremely well, and there are several reasons for that. Yes, of course, it's the lightweight that I talked about, but there are a few other things. Yamaha designed everything, even their position of the motor within the frame was all designed to keep this bike handling well. So the motor in the frame gives it the position of it gives it a low center of gravity. The handlebar was pretty down low, but also very widespread, which makes for really easy rider input into the handling of the bike. The wheelbase of the bike, the distance between the two, the front axle and the back axle, is really tight together, which makes it really nimble handling. Overall, there's just a lot of little things that went into the design to make this a really easy to handle motorcycle. So that's about it for me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys do buy or you already own an XSR 900, I have made a video showing you guys how to do an oil change on the bike as per Yamaha's own factory service manual, which means that you can do it just like a dealer would. I show you all the tools I use step by step how to do it just like the dealers are supposed to be doing it according to Yamaha, so you can save yourself a bunch of money doing it like a pro all by yourself. I will link to that video somewhere up here. And that's about it. If you want to see more motorcycle content about the XSR and about all kinds of other motorcycles, please hit subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and ride safe. Peace.